This is 75 by 25 by 12 mm thickness. So exact dimensions is all mentioned in the manual. So if you want to manufacture your material, so it should be on this dimension. So plus or minus 0.003 ऐसा ठीक है, but not too much difference, so that you will not able to log the sample properly, and it should be exact this size, and no uneven surfaces on the running area. So whenever you have an uneven surface on this material, the rubber wheel which is running may get damaged. So this surface should be every time same. Maybe it can be a rough surface, no problem, but it should be flat. So no uneven, no high points, and some example they give us TIG welding. And the TIG welding they just simply grind and then keep it on this, so that rubber will fully damage. So it should be a surface, whatever the coating, let it be whatever the material, the surface should be flat. So and you can use this side and you can use the other side also. Okay. And third media is your sand. So इसमें quartz sand रहता है. So in this hopper you have 15 kg of sand, which is around 50 by 17 quartz sand. So it will be around like 250 to 300 micron powder. So this sand is the one of the third media where it will run against this. So the sample will be placed in this position, and this will be rotating at 200 rpm. As per standard, it is mentioned it is 200 rpm. It has to rotate. So when it starts rotating at 200 rpm, there is a load acting on it. So this will be compressed against that rubber wheel, and the third layer of the powder will be flowing in between the rubber wheel and the sample. So that is what the abrasion what we are looking for. So as per D2 steel, there are some values, some material results has to come. So you cannot use every time a D2 steel. So you have to use your manufacturing your own steel. So only for the calibration purpose they use D2 steel and qualify the machine. And once it is being qualified, then you will use your own sample. So and in this output of this machine is that initial weight and final weight of the sample. So you no need to do any sensor calibration, nothing. It's just initial weight of the sample, and after the test revolution completes, what is the final weight of the sample. So initial and final, depending on the density of this material, you will calculate your volume loss. So that's all is the output here. So with this condition, you cannot only run with the rubber wheel. This rubber will be material of chlorobetal as per standard, and it is 62 shore hardness. So 62 shore hardness, and the diameter will be 228. And whenever the diameter reduces, and you cannot use the same wheel for long duration. So once your diameter reduces, this parallelity will go wrong because the sample has to come very close to it. So the wheel has to be changed every time. So when you want to measure 218 mm ko material loss होता है, so you have to remove this wheel and you have to replace with a new wheel. So this is the wheel and the sample locking and the nozzle and the sand flow. And the sand flow is also exactly restricted to, as per standard it is 300 to 400 micron. So we have set it to 350 to 360 grams per minute. So whenever you open once, so per minute it will be around 360 grams or 350 grams per minute. So it can be between 300 to 400, but we have set it for in between 350 to 360. Okay, so once this is the condition here, and there are dead weights here. So depending on the dead weights, you will be applying the load. But for ASTM, we have only one ASTM G65 dead weight. You will be just applying only one. You don't need to have more confusion when you're doing G65. As per standard, if you want to do, you use this. If you don't want to use the same dead weight, you can use multiple options there. 2 kg, 1 kg, 0.5 kg. You have a variation. But if you want to do as per ASTM, ये एक ही dead weight डालना पड़ेगा. So if it is applied here, the total weight of this will be around 130 Newton. That is 13 kg. The ratio mentioned. So 1:2.38. So if you apply 1 kg, it is almost 2.38 load will be acting here, and plus the self weight of the lever is 3 kg. So whenever you apply anything, so you have to check about this self weight. If you want to do a 3 kg load, no need to apply any dead weight. It is with the same lever, it can run up to 3 kg. But if you want to apply any other customized value, you have to calculate this. So whatever the load into 2.38 plus 3 kg will be your actual load acting on the sample and the rubber wheel. But whenever your load is applied, because of the shore hardness, the rubber gets little compressed. So that you don't need to worry. Okay. So because here we are using the same motor for dry and as well as wet, we have one proximity sensor here. Can you see here? And there is one light also. So whenever this is unloaded condition, the light goes off. If both the lights are on, the motor will not start, because the single motor cannot take the load of two testings, and you cannot concentrate on the same way. So that's the reason. If you are putting the sample and if you are releasing, and if the bottom sample is off, if it is also on, then the motor will not start. So this is also you have to check every time. Yes. Okay. So light ऊपर ही है ना सर?
Red color. Yes.
Other things I will do you after the test is completed. So sample I am fixing it here, and this is the locking for the sample. You will have these 2 screws. So the sample is locked. If your sample is been new sample from your side, if your sample is like dimension wise less or more, so you may not see the perfect matching. If it is more, then this will be opening, and if it is less, and the sample will be moving up and down. So that should not be there. So once this is done, you ensure that the nozzle is very close to it, and once you just open it and see that it is going in between. Okay. If that is going in between, then you will close this, and this is as per ASTM. But if you just wanted to have a different value, for example, now it is for 2 kg. This is for customized mode. I am just telling this is for ASTM. This is customized. So 2 kg into 2.38 plus 3. That will be the load acting on this rubber wheel. So this you will insert it here. So once this is applied, then you will be ensured. 1 second, come on the other side. On. Because I have lifted this, but if it comes down here, this light will be on. If this light is on, if I press start also, it won't start.
Okay.
So this should be, because it should not foul here, and it should not take the more load. That's the only concept here. So this I am not keeping it anything. I am removing it. Let the wheel be fixed or whatever it is, no worries. So this is been unloaded condition. And here, coming to the controller side, so first MCB will be on. Once MCB is on, the power status, and whichever the light, if you want to switch it on, the LEDs can be activated. And this is for emergency, in case if any failure or something happens in the sample got loosened, you can just press emergency. And this is for the revolution counter. Here there is only 2 parameters. One is speed, whatever the time duration, and the load what you apply. So only these 3 conditions. And to set this revolution as per ASTM G65, it is 6000 arc, 6000 revolution. So to set this, you can use this arrow and shift the wherever the digit you wanted, and use this arrow key, and you can set it up and click on FD. So this parameter will set for 1000 revolutions, and this, if I am 100 RPM, the revolution will count and then stop the machine.
How you have set the 200 RPM?
Before putting the sample and load, what we have to do is we have to start the timer.
Okay.
and the motor will start, and then you start this knob to rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise to see the RPM reaches here. Once your RPM is reached, then you stop the machine, then you apply the load. That's all. When the sample is not contact with the wheel, then you start the motor. So the motor will rotate and you see what is the RPM here, then set it, then stop the manual, then apply the load. So that's the only concept you need to do it. Till here any doubts? You just flow the sand, and before that, and here we have a bag to collect that particles and dust. And moreover, you cannot reuse the same sand for the next test, because whenever it comes in between the wheel and the sample, the particles may get damaged. So that means 200 micron may broke into 3-4 pieces. So for the next test, you may have a problem. And moreover, your material which is abrasion, which is happening, also get mixed with that powder, and the rubber particle also will be mixed. So it will be contaminated. You cannot use it for the next test. So you will be having a collecting bag here.
So company will provide the sand also.
At present, we are given up to 50 to 60 kg sand.
Okay.
It is a consumable, so they have to buy it every time.
So what is the cost of that bag?
Cost they have to ask marketing.
Different.
So you switch on like this. And you have a hopper here. You should know like how much revolution you are doing, and it is per minute is 350 grams. So you need to at least fill half of the sand so that it should not be getting empty during the test. So you need to fill up the sand here.
Sir, on your experience, if somebody wants to run a machine for 1 hour, then how much sand is required?
No one will run for 1 hour. As per maximum standard itself is 6,000 revolution.
Over time,
It is almost like 30 minutes. 30 minutes or 25 minutes. Because if you run for long time, the rubber will get wear out. So you cannot run for long time. Like pin on this level, you cannot do that.
so for 30 minutes, it will take 15 kg.
So we have to calculate like 350 into 50. So much sand. And plus little more sand if it is there, it will be good. And if it is, your sample is uneven too much, so you may see this vibration will have more, like it will be jumping like anything. For while to show you how the operation is. If you want to manually stop, manually you will complete the test. That's what I am showing you. So I will remove this load and lift this so that it gets disconnected with that. And whenever you are running for 30-25 minutes and all, this will be hot. So you have to be very careful. So and you see this is the erosion. So this is how the abrasion will start, and when it is a long time, so you will have a long area. So depending on the time, so this length will be more. So whenever you see deep cut in one side and deep cut in other side, center there is no wear or any abrasion is not happen, means then your wheel is not even. So for that wheel dressing we have one more tool. Instead of this sample, you put that file. You've seen this mechanical file which you do it, the metal file. The same metal file will be put here depending on the grade of this. So we put here and just simply give partial load and then run the motor so that the wheel will run against that file, so it gets uniformly dressed, and you every time you have to see whether it is uniform. So this is how, because I don't want to waste your rubber wheel just for running for 6,000 revolution and make the wheel damage. So this will be initial and final, but the accuracy of your weighing scale should be at least 5 digit after the decimal. So for more accuracy, for this and all you will not see like 0.0001 will be there. So for that you need to have a proper accuracy. Cleaning, before you are to, when you are fixing the sample, you will be cleaning with the acetone, like not with dipping anything, just a few drop of acetone and maybe some carbon content of fingers. Dust will be there, that may create some issues. So clearly clean this both area, then weigh the sample, then do a test, then after test weigh it. So while after test also all the sand should be removed and then you will have to weigh it. So this is chlorobital rubber, which is having around 228 diameter and which is of 62 shore hardness, and the low RPM of this is maximum 200 RPM as per G65 method, and the sample has to be fixed as per this dimension, and the load for this ASTM is only this weight. If in case if you want to do it in a different way and cross check the values, you can use the different weights, and but when you are applying the weights you need to check for the ratio and the self weight of the lever. So depending on that you will apply, and you can adjust the revolution whatever you wanted, and you can adjust your speed maximum up to 250 or 300 max. That to depend. For this it is 200. For that other standards are 245 maximum you can go. Not like far side it is for wet. So the methods are different there, and no offer will have no dust or something because the nozzle gets blocked. So and just open it and close. In case if you feel that any dust got stuck, for example, so there is a nozzle here,
Yes.
and there is a silicone pipe here.
Yes.
You see this is very flexible. So if you remove here, this area will come out, and the other this screw is here now. If you loosen up, this part will come out. So to remove this part, you will able to. I'll show you how to remove the wheel. That is also important. So that one side I will finish it off, then we'll go for the other one. Plate. Just hold this. We'll use it more. Okay, and this is one of the adapter, and this also has a key. Okay. Hold this. Once this is locked, and there is a keyway.
Yes, sir.
No matters if it is here and there.
Okay, this is okay.